Karen HOA wrecks kid's trike and calls cops. Epic neighborhood showdown. In a quiet suburban neighborhood where tidy little houses lined the streets, there lived a neighbor everyone tiptoed around, Karen HOA. With her bleach blonde hair and a glare that could stop traffic, Karen was always ready to whip out her phone and record anything she deemed unacceptable. The whole block knew her as the queen of meddling, from complaining about leaves blowing into her yard to griping about kids laughing too loud. One sunny afternoon, little Timmy, a 6-year-old bundle of energy, was happily pedaling his bright red tricycle around the community courtyard. The trike, lovingly repainted by Timmy's dad, gleamed in the sunlight. Timmy was singing to himself, his giggles echoing through the air. Out of nowhere, Karen HOA stormed out from behind her picket fence, hands on hips, her voice shrill enough to shatter glass. "Hey, kid, your noisy trike is giving me a headache. Stop it right now." Timmy froze, slamming on the brakes, his big round eyes staring up at her. Sorry, Ms. HOA," he mumbled. But before he could finish, Karen lunged forward and yanked the handlebars. In the tussle, the trike tipped over, the front wheel popped off, and the frame cracked. Timmy stood there stunned, tears welling up as he stared at his beloved trike, now a heap of twisted metal. You broke my trike," Timmy whimpered. "Broke it? Please," Karen snapped. "You were causing a disturbance, and I have every right to put a stop to it. I'm calling the cops. Let's see who's in the right here." Without hesitation, she pulled out her phone and dialed 911. The neighborhood buzzed with whispers. Curtains parted, and neighbors peeked out, shaking their heads. "Classic Karen HOA," one muttered. "She's called the cops a dozen times this month alone." 10 minutes later, a police cruiser rolled up. 2 officers, a man and a woman, stepped out, looking unfazed. Karen launched into a tirade. "This brat was tearing around, making a racket, and I couldn't get a moment's peace. You need to do something about him, or I'll take this to City Hall." The female officer, Officer Linda, knelt down to Timmy, who was clutching a piece of his broken trike, eyes red and puffy. "Hey, buddy, tell me what happened," she said softly. Sniffling, Timmy explained how he was just riding his trike when Ms. HOA grabbed it and wrecked it. The male officer, Officer Mike, turned to Karen. "Ma'am, kids riding trikes in the courtyard is perfectly normal. If it was too loud for you, you could have asked nicely. But breaking the kid's property? That's on you. You're going to need to make this right." Karen's jaw dropped, her face turning beet red. "What? I was just keeping the peace. You should be arresting him." But Officer Linda shook her head. "You're the one causing a scene here, ma'am. We'll file a report, and you'll need to replace that trike." The neighbors erupted in applause. Karen, fuming, muttered something under her breath and thus stomped back into her house, slamming the door. Timmy's parents took him home, and a few days later, a shiny new red tricycle arrived at their doorstep. Tucked under the handlebars was a note. "Sorry, kid. Don't hate me. HOA." After that, Karen HOA dialed down the drama. She still shot dirty looks now and then, but the random 911 calls stopped. As for Timmy, he was back to pedaling and singing, filling the neighborhood with his infectious laughter.